What's up, guys? Welcome back. It's time for the daily recap. So, pretty much just going to talk about the NFL today because that's the most relevant. So, I guess I'll start off with some of the results. Younghoe Koo missed a potential game-tying field goal against the Chiefs, and they lost 17-14 as a result of it. It's kind of unfair and a bit unfortunate, given that he was voted into his very first Pro Bowl, but he missed it, and pretty much sums up the Falcons season. And the Chiefs secured the number 1 seed, so maybe they'll rest their starters next week, and maybe the week after. So maybe they'll rest their starters for the next 2 weeks. We'll see what happens there. Then the Bears absolutely destroyed the Jaguars 41-17. And now they have control of the 7 seed over the Cardinals. So if the Bears beat the Packers next week, they'll be in the playoffs pretty much. But they have to beat the Packers. Let's see, the Ravens ran all over the Giants, had 249 rushing yards. They won 27-13. That game was never going to be close, if we're being honest. They're also still in the hunt for the 7 seed. Actually, I need to check that. Are they still in the hunt? I think so, but I'll check back on that later. Let's see, the Bengals beat the Texans in a meaningless game pretty much. I said this game would be a toss-up just because both teams had nothing to play for, but ultimately the Bengals won. Brandon Allen threw for 371 yards. Texans defense is absolutely atrocious, and I feel bad for Deshaun Watson, honestly, but yeah, it's just tough being a Texans fan right now, I guess. And then this one, probably one of the most interesting of the day. The Steelers were down 24-7 against the Colts, and then came from behind and beat them 28-24. So they scored 21 unanswered, and they've won the AFC North. And the Colts still have not secured their spot in the playoffs. So they need to beat the Jaguars next week to do so, which is, that's the fact that they came from behind. Ben Roethlisberger had 3 touchdown passes. The Colts defense just struggled. But then again, the offense also didn't really do much to help the defense in terms of keeping the ball and trying to keep the defense off the field and recover at least. So, yeah, brutal loss for Frank Reich and the Colts. But they had their chances to at least come back and pull away from the game, but they just didn't take advantage. Let's see, Washington benched Dwayne Haskins in their loss to the Panthers 20-13. So the NFC East is still up for grabs. And that game next week, Washington versus the Eagles, got flexed into Sunday Night Football. Interesting. If Washington wins, then they win the division and they're going to the playoffs. So I expect Washington to win, but you never know with Jalen Hurts, I guess, and the Eagles, who are wildly inconsistent. But see, in the Chargers, Justin Herbert set the record for most TD passes thrown by a rookie QB. He threw his 28th of the season, which was previously held by Baker Mayfield. He had 27 a couple years ago. And then the Seattle Seahawks beat the Rams 20-9 and win the NFC West. So kudos to them. I mean, their defense played lights out. Jared Goff got beat up pretty bad. He even broke his thumb in his throwing hand, and he might not even play next week. And the Rams need to win in order to clinch a playoff spot. I believe if the only way the Rams will be eliminated is if both the Bears and the Cardinals win. So it's a must win. I mean, they play the Rams play the Cardinals next week, so they've got to win. Both teams have to win, but we'll see what happens there. And then the Eagles-Cowboys rivalry game, of course. Andy Dalton threw for 377 yards. Absolutely destroyed the Eagles, who are now eliminated from playoff contention and are still alive in the race for the NFC East. So they play the Giants. And whoever wins that, so this is how it goes. If Washington loses, then the winner of the Cowboys-Giants game advances to the playoffs. And yeah, ugh, such a terrible division this. But one thing's for sure, the Eagles are out, so the Eagles can just play spoiler against Washington, but we'll see. And then Sunday Night Football, which just ended, Aaron Rodgers throws 4 touchdown passes. Devontae Adams, he went off for 11 receptions, 142 yards, 3 TDs in the win, 40-14 over the Titans. Ryan Tannehill threw 2 interceptions, and I mean, the offense. I mean, I gotta give credit to the defense, the Packers defense, for holding the Titans offense to less than 20 points. I think they were averaging around 30 points per game. So kudos to the Packers defense. Good for them, honestly. Then I guess just one other headline, that the Hall of Fame pitcher from the Braves, Phil Nicaro, dies at 81 from cancer. Played 21 seasons with the Braves. Rest in peace. And on that note, I think I will end it, and so I will see you all tomorrow.